I think that the Pokemon baby thing that they were doing, where they made like Pichu and like they made de-evolutions, it's kind of a cool concept that I kind of wish they would do, but also kind of mid in my opinion. It's like a weird middle ground where I'm like, I really wish they kept doing that, but also, I mean, none of the designs there are ones that I'm like, that's like one of my favorites. But at the same time, I do like them. They're just little guys. They're just little friends to us all. 3 cheers for the Wanderers in honor of Fallout 4's latest update. We've added new weapons, apparel, and workshops to the Commonwealth. Oh boy. A whole stream where it's audio only and you're meticulously describing everything that's happening. I've thought about doing something like that as a joke based on how many times I've done similar things. Like the recent Elden Ring incident. The recent Elden Ring incident.
Oh, sounds like someone made a stinky. I shall attend to young Shaw.
I'm not letting you take care of my baby.
No, we were nervous.
I'm so proud of him.
Oh yeah, isn't there like a thing now where like Nate canonically is like a war criminal now because he was like in some war or something? I don't know. There's like some weird thing about that I saw on Twitter. But yeah, if you didn't know, Nora is canonically a lawyer.
Good morning.
I remember
calling.
I only remember the intro of Fallout 4. This is the intro of Fallout 4. You watch someone get shot and laughed? I mean, I would too. The woman character should have a disadvantage on shooting, but a buff in Riz and Int if she's canonically a lawyer. That way, I mean... Yeah, it's... Okay, hang on, let me just talk about this. There was a weird thing in these games, I feel, where, like, they want you to RPG out your own character, but also want to make the character, like, canonical. Because it's like, oh, yeah, canonically, your character's a lawyer. So, technically speaking, you shouldn't be just inherently good with guns as the female character. I mean, you could maybe say that she goes shooting at a shooting range, but either way, I'd say that she definitely wouldn't be as good with guns as somebody who is in the military. But they want you to be able to make your own character, so you can just take this character and then get, like, all sorts of, like, gun perks and turn her into, like, more of a badass than Nate ever was. And it's kind of a weird thing where it's like, but she started out as a lawyer. It's just a weird thing where I don't necessarily like the sort of... Even New Vegas is a little guilty of it. But at least with New Vegas, it's like you're a courier and you could have different skills to get out of issues as a courier. So that one's kind of less. But like, again, in this case especially, yeah, it's like canonically you're a lawyer. Canonically, you shouldn't be a 1 intelligence lawyer with like 1 luck as well. It's like, how did you... Were you just a really shit lawyer? I don't know.
Codsworth, stay safe, honey.
And your family as well, Mum? Oh, my. Goodbye, Mum. May I say what an honor it's been to serve you and your family. Now, don't you worry about me, Mum. You have your family to think about. Go on.
Codsworth?
Now, don't you worry about me, Mum. You have
This
your family
actually,
to think about.
it still kind of makes me a little sad. It's like the stupidest thing, but like in video games, I don't know. That's like one of the few things I can point to as something that makes me like sad when I hear it. I don't know why. It's something about the way he does the delivery that's so sincere, and then, you know, knowing that he later, you know, is still like loyal to you after just leaving him in a nuclear warfare or whatever.
Come on. There has to be a release.
I pressed the control panel.
Oh, God.
By the way, playing as the female is playing as the female is a little better. But if you playing as Nate's fun because he has over the top voice acting. Like there was like, come on. Oh God. Like that's the way the woman voice acts. Meanwhile, Nate's like, come on. Oh God. It's like a really funny difference. I get both of them in here. Close that too. And crouch. So yeah, if you've ever... I originally had a setup for pacifist male and pacifist female for if I ever do challenge runs of this game. I might reset those up because Fallout's, you know, back in the limelight, so I might possibly do some challenge runs for fun. Even though there's several challenge runs that I started that I never finished because I'm Professor Finbar Calamitous IRL. And if you don't get that reference, Lamau is all I have to say. Also, while we're waiting for that to open, we're gonna go back through and we're gonna collect everything that's lying around that isn't nailed down. Such as Alpine Hammer. That was the worst attempt at a speed voice I've ever heard in my life, and it came out of my mouth, and I am embarrassed.
Nice. Coming back later for you.
What a fucked up thing to say. Like, wanting a gun that reminds you of being frozen in place and then your husband being shot? Kinda weird. Nice. Epic. I'm gonna freeze everybody. I don't know. I kind of feel like if I were in this situation and, like, I saw my spouse get shot in front of me and I was in, like, a cryogenic chamber and I woke up, like, 100 years later or 200 years later or whatever the hell it is, I feel like my response wouldn't be nice when I see a freeze gun. I feel like I would actually just panic. I feel like I'd break down and have a mini panic attack. But that's just me. I do mean that legitimately. That's just me. I don't know. Maybe Nora and Nate are more badass than I am. Who is to say? So I legitimately don't really know what they added. I know they added, like, a few new things, but I don't know what they are fully. Oh, welcome to Fallout New Vegas. That's my impression of the pyro from TF2. Hope you enjoyed. Oh my god, we're in Fallout New Vegas now. Except these aren't for DL. Oh my god. Shut up. This is like my least favorite part of New Vegas. Ah! Shut up! Shut up! Jesus! That was one thing I gave Fallout 4 was that they didn't do that shit. Oh my fucking god. And there it is. That's the fucking, like, dead money runner's arsenal or whatever. The one that catches you off guard once you think all the DLC's over. Fuck you. Oh my god. It really is like New Vegas, because there's the one that catches you off guard because you're like, oh, we're finally done, and then you're not. Okay, I think we're good. That at least it doesn't stop you from walking though. I like for as much shit as I was saying there, it doesn't stop you from walking, so I'm not genuinely that upset about it. Although there were, like, way more notifications, they didn't stop you from doing anything, so I automatically do give Fallout 4 a rare W over New Vegas. Okay, not rare. The combat's way better in 4. If you say the combat's better in New Vegas, you're wrong. You are factually wrong if you think New Vegas's combat is better. You are factually wrong if you think New Vegas's power armor is better. You are factually wrong. I will not hear a word otherwise. Like, I'm sorry, but I simply will not hear a word otherwise. You are factually wrong if you think that Fallout New Vegas has better power armor or, like, combat. You're wrong. If you think it looks better, that's opinion. That's an opinion, that's a valid one. The boundaries they set up here are so weird and arbitrary, and I don't know why they're so specific in some areas. Which, by the way, isn't me being negative, it's just me being curious. I'm not like, this game's shit because I can't... Like, it's weird. But I'm not gonna, like, throw a little temper tantrum over it. I could, though, if it would amuse you. Would it amuse you if I threw a little temper tantrum? If I stamped my feet up and down and screamed to the heavens about why this game is bad? I actually really like Fallout 4. At least gameplay-wise. I think it's quite fun. Even though I like New Vegas, which means I'm legally not allowed to like 4. Although I'm glad that people kind of realize that that's bullshit. Like, I think most people who, at least nowadays, like both. You're gonna set the game on fire after this? I mean, that's not entirely inaccurate. Because I'm gonna set it on nuclear fire. if the glitches still work. I'm a little nervous because I feel like some things that used to work don't work anymore. I haven't tried any glitches. But I feel like some small things, like, I feel like they took out the barrel. I feel like there used to be a barrel in the intro that you could, like, shove into, there to make Nate, like, walk off of the area so that he would get left behind and not actually, like, fall down where he's supposed to. I mean, I could just be wrong about that, too. Like, maybe it was, like, somewhere else that I didn't look. Yeah, maybe, like, they didn't remove it. And there's, like, a few other small things. I genuinely don't know if this, if the whole plan of this stream is gonna work. I do think it would be mildly funny if, before, like, you knew that bottle caps were a currency, your character would be like, why am I picking up these bottle caps, and just wouldn't do it? That would be kind of funny. But it would be very annoying from a gameplay perspective. But I do think that would be very funny from a role-playing perspective. Like, just your character just refusing, like, I'm not picking up these worthless bottle caps. Do they use money in the vaults? Well, okay. Technically, the whole what currency should be used in the Fallout universe is a whole discussion in and of itself that I'm not qualified to do. Because in Fallout 1, it was bottle caps. That was very iconic, so they used that in every other Fallout game, pretty much. But in Fallout 2, they did actually establish a paper currency. In the vaults, I don't think they use bottle caps or anything. I think that, you know, they just, like, barter amongst themselves and don't really have, like, an economy. But then if like, people from vaults, like, you know, after the whole, like, war thing, want to interact with the outside world, they would learn that caps are the currency, and they would probably just accept that as currency. I know, for example, in New Vegas, what do you call it? There are a few different currencies, actually. There's the Legion currency, which is, like, coins. There's the NCR currency, which is, like, a paper currency. And then there is, then there's bottle caps. And I think... Oh, yeah, and then the other thing is that old world currency is, like, accepted as a certain cap value. Not that anybody really uses it as, like, a default currency. But everywhere defaults to caps, even though these other currencies exist. Yeah, exactly. That's the distinction there. Yeah, I don't think vault dwellers are in a position to have an economy when, for all they know, they're the last ones. Yeah, that's the distinction there, is that if they're vault dwellers purely in a vault, they most likely do not have an economic system. Although, there is the one vault in Fallout New Vegas that was all about gambling, so maybe they just gambled, like, bartering style for, like, goods and services. But they did gamble, so maybe they kept some sort of form of economy in some of them. But for the most part, the vault's basically working in the best interest of the vault, so it's more of a, like, a communist system. Ironically enough, wait a minute. Wait a minute. The vaults are kind of communist. Wait a minute. Hold on. That's really ironic. What the fuck? No, hang on. No, that can't be right. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Am I discovering something about the Fallout lore here? Thank you, teachers. You're wise beyond your years. Well, okay, if I say anything about Fallout lore, chances are it's in the same way I would tell you about Dragon Ball lore. I haven't played, like, the original Fallout games. I can't really tell you for sure, like, from experience. But yeah, like I'm basically just regurgitating information I've heard from other sources, which may or may not be right. Wait a minute, to save humanity, we have to resort to communism. But it's really ironic. It's really ironic because the whole thing is that, you know, they're shelters against, like, the communists, basically. This is all conjecture, at least from me, yeah. I know a little bit, because I'll just, like, I'll turn on random videos about things where just people blab on and on about whatever for a while, and I'll be like, oh, interesting, and I'll, like, be half paying attention. I'm just take everything you say as gospel. I mean, you can when it comes to Fallout. It's not like you're gonna be, like, endangering somebody by, like, giving them fake Fallout knowledge. Too lazy to look into it? Yeah, that too. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, feel free. It's yeah, it's not gonna endanger anybody if you give them fake Fallout knowledge. That's the way I see things. It's like sometimes like my dad will be like, "Oh, where'd you hear that?" Oh, and it's like it doesn't even necessarily matter if a lot of things are true when you think about it. It's like this isn't endangering anybody if I say like, "Oh, I heard the story one time about a guy who jumped off a cliff and he yeah, do you okay, it's the story. I didn't start it out thinking of anything, but I'm now thinking of the story of, like, the guy jumped off a cliff, he lit himself on fire, and he jumped into water, and, like, all this stuff, and then, like, the whole thing is that he ends up, like, not dying because all the things that he did to die, like, counteract each other in ways. Before you're on a crazy game show. Whoa! But yeah, like, do you guys ever remember hearing about this? It was like somebody poisoned themselves, lit themselves on fire, jumped off a cliff into water. The water put out the fire, the impact made them puke out the poison, and they, like, didn't die because of the water, because it was, like, I guess it wasn't at the height where water becomes, like, a lethal fall. It was, like, some sort of weird combination, and then they, like, got saved from drowning because somebody came for them. Like, you know, at that point, it's almost like, not to be like, not to sound like anti-religious, but it's almost like Bible stories at that point where, and I want to clarify, I think, if I'm not mistaken, some of the stories that Jesus tells, if not all of them, aren't necessarily real stories that happened. They're like, you know, parables. They're like, a man walks into a bar. Ouch. No, they're like things, you know, that give examples on life. And in that one, again, it doesn't matter if that's not a true story. It's like an interesting thing to think about. And it's like, I don't know. Yeah, they're literally parables. Yeah. Like, I think probably Jesus told some real stories too and was like, yo, this really happened to me. But I think for the most part, he's like making things up and being like, or like, not necessarily making them up, but more in the sense that, like, as a religious person, you don't have to see them as a literal thing that happened. They're just more like to tell the story. So I don't think it necessarily really matters if certain things are real or not. And yeah, I don't know why I crashed yesterday, but apparently Windows 11 just, I don't know. I swear it's a Windows 11 thing because my laptop also, like, crashes all the time. My favorite gospel: a man walks into a bar. Yeah, I mean that's the classic. That's the classic one. That's the classic one. That's Matthew 12:14. Fun fact: I said 12:14 because it is 12:14. I almost said AM. That's not right. PM. I wonder what Matthew 12:14 actually is. Hang on. Let's see if that's a thing. Reality is an illusion? I mean, kind of. Matthew 12:14. But the Pharisees went out and plotted how they might kill Jesus. Okay. That's Matthew 12:14 for you. What a great, just a random pick from the Bible. Oh, dear Lord. I like the one where a blind man begs Jesus to help him, and Jesus just spits in some mud and rubs it in his eyes and tells him to go wash it up. It would be way funnier if nothing happened after that. Just imagine. Jesus then ran away as fast as he could, not wanting to have to handle the consequences of what he had just done. I'm sorry, I don't mean any sacrilegiousness. If anybody's listening to this who is religious in the future or now, I don't mean any sacrilegiousness. Sacrilege. Sacrilege is like a word that sounds like a fake word. It's like, oh, I'm being so sacrilege right now. But I think that's like legitimately how you use the word, though, right? You'd be like, you're being sacrilege. You wouldn't say you're being sacrilegious, would you? Jesus is a door-to-door vacuum salesman. Oh, why would you even say that? You know what I've always wondered? You know, Jesus was like nailed to a wooden cross, right? So what I've kind of wondered is, it's like, do you think like Jesus like looked at the cross and was like, oh man, you know, you could really optimize this? And somebody was like, what do you mean? What the hell do you know about this? And it's like, oh yeah, I'm a carpenter. I don't know, you two should start a church. I think it'd be pretty fun. I've thought about it, but there's a big problem with it, and it's like... the problem is, like, I would want to scam... I would want to do, like, a Scientology-style church that scams rich people. Not like a televangelist thing, because that scams, like, poor people, and I would feel really bad about that and not want to do that. But if we can somehow create, like, Scientology 2, I'm so down. I'm so down for that, if we can create Scientology 2. I imagine him having, like, a briefcase and having to hold his hat on his head. Oh, I see what you're saying. I like that. That is a great visual. The timber isn't good enough for a cross, my boy. Need some mahogany to really hold a lad to this cross. Jesus, home improvement 19 years. Fuck you. Fuck you, go to hell. Go to hell, go directly to hell. Do not pass go, do not collect $200, you motherfucker. And Jesus turned to his disciples, knowing that he was about to be crucified, and he said, fuck off. Shut up. Confused dog noise. Jesus. I like that you describe that as confused dog noise. Just imagining Tim Allen as Jesus. That's stupid. That's stupid. I hate this guy. Tim Allen, I agree. Oh my god, this is like the stupidest thing ever, but it's pretty funny. I bet Tim Allen felt like Jesus when he was on that nose show. What the fuck are you talking about? Nose show? What? You can't just say something like that. Snow. Snow show? No snow? No snow. Now that's a good term for cocaine. Nose snow. Oh, you said snow originally. Oh my god. Wait. Oh, I'm fucking stupid. Oh my god, I haven't felt this stupid since that one time with the Vietnam uncle. I have not felt that stupid in a long time. SMH my head. I agree. I hard agree. No shit. I'm fucking stupid. Oh, no snow would be a good time for cocaine. They should make that. Fucking god. Strike me down. Strike me down after all of this. Ah. If I only had a brain. By the way, I scrapped it, but if you could see, there was a Mr. Handy box there. Oh, I thought I was gonna scrap Codsworth for a second. But as you can see now, he's a lot more dusty. But I think the reason why he's so shiny in the intro is because he's literally like pretty brand new. You're the smartest person I know. I was debating on whether or not to say this, but I am gonna say it. That's sad. That's sad if that's true. That simply cannot be true. I feel like I'm also like, I'm not stupid. Okay, I'll say that. I'll say that. I'm not stupid. I think that's pretty undebatable that I'm not completely stupid. But I feel like I'm not as smart as people think I am. Though I feel like I'm smarter than people who think they're smart. I don't know many people. Okay, that's fair. Still, I feel like I'm smarter than some people who think they're smart. I feel like I'm less smart than some people who think I am actually smart. This feels like a riddle. Also, I forgot there is one bad roach there. Alright, Codsworth, help. Codsworth, ayúdame por favor. Codsworth, por qué? So that says something about them? Yeah. No, I remember distinctly, and I have no hatred for this person, but one person who, like, very much tries to seem smart, but never strikes me as smart as they seem, but isn't, like, really a douche about it either, so I'm not that mad at them, was one time trying to correct me on, like, math, and I was like, no, I did it, like, 3 times in my head. I wouldn't normally, like, correct somebody if I wasn't sure. Like, I'm pretty damn sure. And they kept being like, no, 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 no. And I was like, well, you know what? Let's pull out a calculator and check, because I'm not 100% sure. And I pulled out the calculator, and guess who was right? It was me. Like, again, if for some reason that person does watch this, I genuinely have no hate for you. And chances are you probably don't remember that anyway, but, if you do remember that, and you do hear this, I don't hate you or anything. I don't even think you necessarily purposely try to come across as smart or anything. But, you know, I did get that math thing right, so... Oh, yeah, and I remember I also... I didn't really outsmart you this time, but I was outsmarting the tabletop role-playing game. I'll get to that in a second, but let me first read this new comment that just came in. Smart people are stupid because they think they're smart. Stupid people are smart when they realize they're stupid and question themselves. Yeah, I mean, that's probably like a really old quote, but like that sentiment I genuinely kind of agree with, because it's like when a stupid person admits that they're stupid, they're smarter than a smart person who says like, "Oh, I know everything," you know. Admitting your flaws is smart. Like, you know, you're not perfect. Nobody is. But pretending that you are, or even like, you know, thinking you are. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I genuinely do think, like, a stupid person who knows they're stupid can be much smarter than a smart person who thinks they're smart. Like... You know, sometimes you hear some old things like that, like, you know, from Socrates or whatever, and you're like, dude, shut the fuck up. You wasn't even there. What do you know? But when it comes to that, that's something I agree with. But what I was gonna say was, in the tabletop RPG game, Mage, I forget if it was the Ascension or the Awakening, but I think it would apply to both. I was trying to make the argument, and but the way I made this argument, I ended up giving in, obviously, because it's like, yeah, I get from a gameplay perspective and everything, but that it would actually be really broken. But I was trying to make an argument that theoretically, if my character could manipulate time, that would also mean that they could manipulate force, in the sense that, you know, force, mass, acceleration, and all that. And I was basically making the argument that if you had any of those three, like, if you, like, you could technically manipulate the force of an object if you could either have the magic that manipulated mass, or the magic that would manipulate the acceleration, which would be time. I was basically trying to make arguments that you could just make things, like, really strong. And the argument against that was no, that the manipulation of time being magical doesn't actually cause an increase to acceleration, which I agree with, because that would actually be kind of broken for time to have that much power. Though, I would argue that if you did use the thing to manipulate the mass of an object, that would actually manipulate its force without you needing to have force. Although I think you manipulate the mass of things through force. I don't even know if you could manipulate the mass of things in Mage. But I think it would probably be tied to force. I don't know for sure. I just wanted to have a cool concept where it's like, I throw something, speed up the time, and it you know, like a time acceleration ability on stuff. And I want to make it clear that it is 100% valid what that person said, that, like, time wouldn't do that in the sense of magic, because like I've said multiple times at this point, that would be just too OP. Because you would basically be rendering, I forget if there was one based on mass, but I know there was one based on force. You'd basically be rendering the force one invalid and, like, always an inferior option to time. Which if I were to, like, make house rules, I would somehow figure out a different way around it. Like, I'd be like, maybe it would be like, oh, with time you can manipulate objects, the acceleration of objects to go faster, and that does increase the force of them, but it will never, like, one dot of force will increase the force way more than one dot of time would increase the force by increasing its acceleration, so to speak. But I don't know, because I genuinely don't know how to balance, like, games. That's one thing, like, sometimes I'll laugh at games that, like, not laugh really at, but, like, kind of be like, oh, wow, this is crazy that this is so broken. But it's like, I don't know how I'd balance it. I think it's kind of funny that it's so broken. And I'm not going to claim that I'm smarter than, you know, the people who made it. Because I genuinely, I have to say, honestly, weirdly, despite the fact that I've just scrapping in Fallout 4, this might be one of my best streams ever, just talking about stuff. Because things are just coming to my head, and it obviously helped that people were in the chat, you know, spurring me on, because sometimes I just can't think of things, but yeah, I don't know. I always find it interesting to break games. I love breaking games, personally. Which is why that's something I'm going to try to do this time as well, with this game. I even break New Vegas. In fact, New Vegas is kind of easier to break. There's so much broken shit in New Vegas you can abuse. I would say, I'm thinking one more time, yeah, I would say it. Fallout New Vegas is way more broken than 4. It's a fun stream. How broken can you get this game? Now, that's an interesting thing. I don't know for sure with the update, if the update possibly broke some, like, glitches. But if everything goes as planned, we will have a squirt gun that can shoot out infinite nukes. If everything goes as planned, that's what we'll be able to do. As for other stuff, you can get infinite materials by basically just doing item duplication. You can get infinite, not infinite, but you can get to level 10 special stats and everything by duplicating the I'm Special book. As for other things, you can kind of get broken in this game just by building certain things over and over again. Like, okay, so really, if we wanted to get super broken, what we could do is we would go to Saugus Ironworks. We would go through the entire thing, get to the final area where there would be a magazine. The magazine would have a thing in it to build copper statues. You would then use that, you would then get a bunch of copper through item duplication and then build a ton of copper statues, scrap them to get copper back, and keep repeating that process. The very essence... God, what the fuck am I saying? But just, you can basically just build in order to get XP in this game. That's why, like, very early on, and the reason we're scrapping everything is because we're gonna build, like, wooden fences. We're gonna build, like, I think floor mats are, like, very easy to stack on each other. Shelves. No, that's the thing. Shelves is what you want to build because they give XP and also... also they can stack inside of each other, so they're like one of the best things to build. But before people realized that you can stack shelves inside of each other, they used to just spam wood and fence posts everywhere because it only costs 2 wood to make. It scraps for 1 wood, so you're getting like 50% back. But then the other thing is that it gives you like 2 XP every time, so you can just keep doing it. And this is part of the reason why Idiot Savant is actually way more powerful than it seems, is that while technically, if you're just like fighting people and doing like objectives, it might not go off all too often. So it doesn't necessarily seem that worth it at all times. But if you're doing something like building a ton of stuff at settlements, you're doing like maybe like hundreds of fence posts, hundreds of shelves, whatever. You're making it so that the more times you do it, the more chances you have of it going off, and it gives you, at its first level, it gives you a 3 times increase to any XP. So sometimes you'll just randomly get 3 times the amount of XP, and then if you get the Idiot Savant level 2, it's 5 times. And that's what makes it so powerful. The other thing is that while it doesn't go off as often if you have higher intelligence, even at the intelligence level that my character has, which is above average at 6, it's actually still very worth it. And it's technically always worth it to have Idiot Savant on the off chance that it does. It's just, it'll go off a lot rarer. I always get Idiot Savant. It's funny. It is a little annoying, though, to just hear your character go, like, every 5 seconds, if you're building a ton of stuff at a settlement. But it is worth it for the experience. Don't worry, once I'm done scrapping everything here, you'll be able to see exactly what I mean. Because, my god, it's probably going to go off a lot. Oh, no, that's perfect, yeah. If you vat someone and they die in the worst possible way and the Idiot Savant goes off and ruins the whole vibe, no, that's wonderful. I haven't really had that happen, but, I mean, hell yeah. If that happens on a kill cam, that's hilarious. And I would absolutely love if that happened. I mainly know it because if you're, like, trying to, like, start out with a high level and just build a ton of crap here at Sanctuary, it goes off, like, all the time if you're building, like, a bunch of shelves or a bunch of, floor mats or whatever. So, it's annoying in that case, but if it goes off, like, when you shoot someone in the head, that's kind of funny. I would love that when that happens. I'm so tempted to not just scrap everything, but the problem is it's like, you know, this is Fallout 4. Scrapping everything is more important in this game than, honestly, I've barely touched crafting in New Vegas. You can craft a ton of stuff in New Vegas. Like, honestly, there's a lot of crafting that you can do. But because the system doesn't really work like this, where it's just, oh, you can scrap stuff and get, like, the base components, put them in your base, blah, 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 I rarely ever bother with crafting in New Vegas. That's another thing I'll give this game over New Vegas, is the crafting and the settlements and stuff. I like it. I like it personally. I mean, what would be the most ideal thing would be like maybe some sort of like, you know, it'd be also cool if like there was like a scrap everything button, but then there was also like one where it was like a restore button where it's like more or less like you can have people like go through and like make all the stuff sort of look like it used to in Sanctuary. I think there's a mod for that where you can have Sanctuary like look a little more like it used to. You know, no. We're done for now. We're done for now. And again, by we're done for now, I mean we're gonna build a ton of shelves and whatnot for experience. Ah, shelves, here we go. Okay, so then I think it's... There we go. If my shitty YouTube vid can get almost 1K, I think your epic vid will get at least get 2K. Maybe. I still can't believe that one clip from TF2 still gets views. Like, it's so weird to me to think of all the YouTube channels throughout history that existed and never got a video with over 10K views. And I have a video with over 10K views. Feels ridiculous. Like, it's one of those things, too, where because it's on such a tiny little short clip, I'm not even that happy about it. I'm kind of mad. Like, I hope I'm right about where this area is. I know you can find it before you're the right level. You cannot go that way. Or was I going... yeah, I was going a little too far west, I think. Okay. I love that. You cannot go that way. Please stop. Okay, here it is. Yeah. You cannot go that way. Shut up. You cannot go that way. Okay, so you can't... You cannot go that way. Fuck off! It's right there! Oh my god. Cannot go that way.
Time's wasting here. Hey, I know you're still in there.
It's like he's trying different tactics to try to get a response. Hey, I know you're there. Hey, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. You got a death wish or something?
You got a death wish or something? I mean...
I can be what I want to be.
Would you guys use nuclear bombs as a weapon indoors?
Of course.
Why the hell would anyone build?
I don't know about indoors.
Look how effective it is.
Places like
I mean, I think I still probably have a positive KD ratio.
Positive KD ratio.
Katie thinks very highly of you.
Yeah. Even though she ratios me on Twitter. I mean, X.
But she's always ratioing you with, like, a positive comment.
Yeah. And then, but then she still goes like, haha, oh, I accidentally ratioed you. And it's like, after a few times, I'm starting to think that it's not an accident.
She's malicious in every way.
Malicious positivity.
That's me. Logan, the soup's good.
That's pretty malicious.
It is. It's malicious because I'm trying to get him to take a bite and then it's actually poison, so he's gonna die.
A bite of soup?
Yes. What?
An iconic bite of soup?
Yeah. What? Is that not how you're supposed to say soup eating?
A spoonful? I don't know
But I
how
use a
you'd
fork.
say it. Fork?
With soup.
Why are you eating soup with a fork?
Because that's how I get my chunks. What do you want?
What I want is logic and reason to be brought back to this country.
I don't want none of this liquid in my mouth. I just want the chunk.
Then just make chunk!
But then it's not flavorful enough and it's not as juicy. And also, I can't decide what they put in a can.
Oh.
I don't have enough energy to make a whole soup myself. Especially a beef soup. I don't got that energy.
Alright, I'm gonna restart my computer and I'll be right back.
Epic.
Coward.
See what happens.
Epic
Hopefully
coward.
I didn't brick my computer. Here we
Why would he brick his computer?
I don't know.
What's he doing?
He's putting like a bunch of bricks on top of it. He's like stacking them. I think he's trying to play Tetris.
I think that might brick his computer.
It might. But here's hoping. Here's hoping that it didn't.
Oh, I thought you were saying here's hoping that it did.
Oh. No.
No.
Why?
No, that would be so awful.
No, he's too sexy. No.
The computer's too sexy. No.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to pull that off.
No, keep trying.
Okay. I'm gonna work both smarter and stupider. Yeah,
When
that was
don't you?
definitely stupider. When don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time I just work stupider.
Oh, okay.
Do you move faster in VATS? Like, time moves slower, but do you move proportionally faster?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I think you just move regular speed.
No, you can't even move in VATS in this one, seems.
Oh my god.
Actually, I swear you can. Maybe there's some trick to doing it. I don't know. Alright, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. There's nobody even down here anyway.
They wish they smell like Reese's Pieces.
Parmesan cheese. Only if you smell their knees.
They just rub Parmesan on their knees?
I couldn't tell you why it smells like Parmesan. I can just tell you that it does.
I'm telling you why they're rubbing Parmesan on their cheese.
They're rubbing Parmesan on their cheese. I'm not eating this cheddar till I rub some Parmesan on it.
That's what I would do.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
eating
how you make a
cheddar.
good mac and cheese.
That'd probably
I
be
ain't
a
having
good,
no cheddar.
that'd probably be a good combination.
Yeah?
What are you doing?
Cheddar and parm.
Come into my house?
No,
You
no, no.
could do worse.
Yeah, and a lot of people just have wooden nail bats. Or lead pipe.
Or banana.
Banana.
No, there are no bananas in Fallout.
Banana.
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 Maybe the minions. Maybe the minions in Fallout. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Hold on. Hear me
Put that
out.
on the sheet. Put that on the sheet.
No, hold on.
I'm putting it on the sheet.
What faction in Fallout New Vegas would the minions work for?
Okay, they would want to work for Caesar, but Caesar would absolutely not put up with their bullshit.
They all get put on a cross.
There's just a bunch of crucified minions all across the Mojave.
Oh my god.
That's not good. Is this the next Minions movie?
Oh god. Yeah. That's the answer.
Logan, you're fucked up.
Yeah, that's fucked. That's fucked and sucked, dude.
It's true. He's dead now.
Finally.
That's mean.
I
Oh. What?
Nothing. I'm controlling my rage.
Fuck.
Logan, I'm very worried about you. First you talk about minions being crucified, then you talk about controlling your rage.
What the fuck is happening to you?
No.
San Francisco sunlights.
Interesting brand. Won't lead us anywhere on its own, though.
If I had a nickel for every time you track somebody in a Fallout game by knowing their specific cigarette brand that only they smoke, I'd have 2 nickels.
Ooh,
Two
that's
nicks.
a lot of nickels.
Maybe more because I don't know much about any of the other Fallout games. Is there somebody who smokes a specific brand of cigarettes in 3?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Logan, play it now and find out.
Play all of it right now and do all of this stuff.
It's beaming into my eyes.
Answer?
No.
Damn.
No!
Logan when something happens to him.
Yeah, usually he does say that whenever something happens.
No! There, bruh. That got him.
Yeah, bruh.
Got his ass.
Oh, let's check out the update on Helldivers 2. Mostly negative. Oh man.
Oh. That's what you get for diving to hell. God would not have you do that.
Truth.
God would have you dive to heaven.
It's crazy.
I know, but God's word is not that crazy if you think about it.
If you don't create a PSN account, you can't play Helldivers 2 anymore.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
Oh, is that?
Augers.
Oh.
Augers.
Oh, that's what all that was about.
Yeah.
I love watching people. I love watching companies commit die on themselves.
I mean, it's a shame. It's most likely Sony.
No, I mean, I know. I guess in this case, yeah, it would be somebody else, but still. I love watching people just shoot themselves in the leg.
Yeah, they're like, oh man, we have this great game. Let's ruin it.
Strokes chin as fast as humanly possible. You know, I think they would actually want to have a PSN account so that they can not have fun.
Starts putting out the fire that you have created.
Creates another fire equally as big as the first one.
Laughs.
Cries. Logan. Logan, you got a Family Guy.
Family Guy?
Yeah, because one laughed, one cried. Laugh and cry,
Oh.
and then you're the Family Guy, alright?
Yeah. Okay, Logan?
Say
Oh
it.
my God,
Say Family
I'm-
Guy. Say Family Guy.
Say it.
Family Guy.
Yeah!
Why'd you go away from the mic so far to say it?
Because he was embarrassed.
Yes. Yes.
I'm stupid! Fallout Balatro.
Fallout Balatro.
That'd be cool.
Fallout 70 Balatro.
700 Balatros falling out. In
Oh.
reverse.
So I was able to beat pretty much almost all the like the special anti-whatevers with the hex deck.
Damn.
Because apparently getting, you know, astrology cards or whatever is pretty good.
Were you able to beat the uncles yet?
I haven't beaten the uncles, no.
You've only beat the aunties?
How dare you? How dare you?
No, that was a good joke.
Thanks. I'm glad somebody appreciates it. Rolls eyes so hard that they make a loud squelching sound instead of a medium squelching
Ew.
sound.
Medium?
I thought you were gonna say meaty.
No, the sound's definitely still quite meaty.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Is that supposed to be the sound of your eyes?
No, that was the sound of my cries.
Okay, that's fine then. That makes sense.
I did accidentally just nuke the dog.
Oh no.
That's not good.
I'll use a stim pack on him.
Hey.
And then tell him to
Good
leave.
thing he
How you
survived.
doing, buddy?
Talk to me!
Hey.
I don't want you
Hey.
here.
Heads up. Heads up. How you doing?
Oh, I
buddy?
don't think he's gonna talk to me because I've launched a nuke at him.
So, can talk?
Well, he can't talk, but I don't think he's gonna do the, like, dialogue options.
Oh.
No, I hate this game. That's what Dog Meat says when I hit him point blank with nukes.
That's what Logan says when you hit him point blank.
When I hit him on his
That's
snoot.
true.
When I boop his snoot.
Yeah,
No,
you
do not boop
snoot.
my snoot.
But everyone loves to boop your snoot, Logan.
No.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to boop your snoot, punches you in the nose.
That's fun.
Creates a reverberation that blows your head clean off. You come.
That's soda. No.
Soda. No! What the? That's so cool, dude. What the hell is this? When I crouch, half the world disappears.
The fuck?
That's scary.
That's
How
what
you
happens
doing,
when you
buddy?
nuke a building too many times.
Dog meat, please
Stay
leave.
safe, buddy.
Please leave. I'm begging
Dog
you.
meat, I can't bear to see you die again.
It's not safe in here for you. What if Mercy said heroes never die for a slice and made you get her a slice of pizza every time you needed healing?
I'd do it for her, my queen.
Hell yeah. Same, bro.
Do I have to go to the fridge or do I have to get like a new slice? Or...
You have to
Eat
order a whole
fresh.
new pizza.
Yeah, you have to... You
Oh
have
my
to,
god.
You don't have to order a whole new pizza every time, but it needs to be hot.
It needs to be sexy.
It needs to be Little Caesars.
It
Hot
can
and
be
ready
Little
pizza, pizza.
Caesars.
The hell?
Pizza.
It can be Little Caesars, but it cannot be Big Tony's cold pizzas.
Damn. It's my favorite one.
Yeah, but she does not like Big Tony's cold pizzas.
I know.
She says pizza needs to be hot.
She says pizza, pizza.
She does also say pizza, pizza. If you like trick her into healing you and don't give her pizza, she will not heal you ever again until you get her like 3 slices of pizza, and she'll also say you're a pizza shit every time she sees you.
Perhaps my sensors need calibration.
I don't want to get pizza for Mercy.
Why wouldn't you get pizza for Mercy? What the hell, dude?
She's very rude.
Hostile sensor reading detected.
No, that's only if you trick, like, if you trick her, she's gonna be pissed. She wouldn't call you that otherwise. That's just like if you betray her trust. If you're like, yeah, I'll totally get you that pizza later, and then you don't.
Then you're a pizza shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You cannot escape detection.
I found these really good sea salt milk chocolate caramels.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks. I found them all by myself, and I said,
Did you find them like in the middle of a forest?
Well, no, I found them in the middle of a CVS.
That's basically
Same
a forest.
amount of hunting.
Wise to flee.
CVS's are the forest of modern society.
It's true.
I've been saying that for years, and nobody's listened to me until now.
You know, I'm listening. I'm listening, and I'm right there with you, buddy.
I'm glad. Because up
High
until this
five.
point, nobody's listened. I'm giving you the highest of 5s.
Yes!
It's not actually that high, because I'm pretty short.
That's okay.
Thank you.
You don't have to be tall to give a big high five.
What?
It's so true. You're so right, though. No, you're so right.
I'm gonna eat my chocolate.
You can eat your chocolate, but just know that you're so right.
Oh, I know I'm right. I'm right all the time.
Okay, but like, you're usually right. This time you're so right.
Alright. Thanks, man.
No problem.